Braka, braka, everybody. Islamism to everybody. I see, and assalamu alaikum. All mean peace, greetings, and baraka. I don't like saying be less than nobody. So I have a homebody, which y'all already knew because I was supposed to do this days ago, but things come up, and the Most High knows all of what the power of the Most High want to do. But we got it today. And I'm very interested. And I have the host here. And I just heard them unmute themselves, which third world gods, a.k.a. El Garb, y'all. You got the flow.
Islamism. Raka. Peace and love. Ashe. As cousin just said, it all means peace. So assalamu alaikum. I have no problem saying any of it in any type of form, because we are one people and this is what we see. So peace and love to everyone. I'm putting this on Facebook as Family Stuff Part 2.
Got it. I'm glad you're doing that because, I'm not allowed to record for another 22 days on Facebook. So that works for me.
Okay. Well, yeah, they might do that to one, but you can't really do that to all of us.
True.
And so it's just a matter of how we going to handle in order to do what it is we're doing. Peace and love, people. Peace and love, Facebook and all that. Even before I begin this, I'm going to say we are us. We have a language the way we speak, and everyone may not understand us. So let me say up front, no matter what's said, no one's being threatened. We are not speaking against any particular group. We might speak against the ignorance of a particular group, even ourselves. Yep. But we are not speaking against groups and things of that nature. We're speaking the principles, not something else. Y'all know, sometimes I can only hit part of the words of what we're saying. Principalities and all that stuff. we are not speaking against the people, because the Creator made the people. You're you. What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to do about who you are, who you want to be? Until that which you're choosing interferes with the rest of us. That's when it becomes a problem. So, in saying that, do you want me just to push on, cuz?
Yes, sir. You got the power. Go ahead.
Okay, so bottom line is the governance of self. And in this governance of self, we are admitting that things from the past have been lies to us. Like the majority of what we want to call the past, history, the way things work, we learned it through a lie, or we operate it. We operate within the lying part of it. In this part, we have to get straight. So when we begin to talk to each other, and in politics, religion, economics, finances, these are all sciences. Plain and simple. It's all just a science in different languages. Language is not limited to the exotic languages of this land or that land. Languages also include two mechanics sitting down speaking English words to each other, but the only thing they're talking about is mechanics. That's a language. The language of economics, the language of finance, the language of psychology, of psychiatry. These are all different languages. And so we have to realize the different languages. So when we begin to speak on a religious language comes from what we call a spiritual language, or a chi, or the kai, talking about the pineal gland, the third eye. All it is religion. It's a science.
Hold on. We got to get him back. I don't know what happened there. He must have lost signal. We'll get him back. We'll get him back. He stopped that science. I'm over here about to bring up the screaming screen. You know, I have to bypass. I can't invite people. I have to call them on my phone and, you know, do the razzle dazzle. You know, I know. Your boy don't complain. I just go through quietly. So we'll be back. I don't know. I'm thinking his phone might have crashed. Well, could have died because I'm not getting a ring, but I ain't giving up, y'all. Hold on. I just want to pull up this page real quick. He was talking to some good stuffy there, you know? Oh, man, he was showing how we got to come together. He even heard my message today, man. That's why I got to get him back on the line, man. We got to get him back on the line. Let me see that. Now I'm going to come back to y'all. See how the enemy always want to try to show us ugly head? Come on, man. Let's try this again. Yo, say that one more time. I'm going to show the people. Yo, it's saying my phone is not registered. What? Yo, man, let me make this screen big. Y'all swear I be lying, bruh. Y'all swear I be lying, bruh. Y'all swear I be lying. What I say? Yo, I'm on Wi-Fi full signal, son. What the hell? Yo, maybe it was me. I'm saying, like, yo, these people just cut my phone service off, son. Yo, let me cut my joint on and off again, man. Maybe it wasn't Cuz probably trying. Well, if he's hearing it on Facebook, he's seeing that with the dealio. Oh no, man! Let me restart this thing, man. They talking about. You see the enemy. I was wondering why God was like, for a little while, I just want you to show yourself on the screen. I'm like, why are we doing this? Now I see. See, all you got to do is be obedient to the Spirit. All right, don't be reasoning when it like I just tried to do. Why are we doing this? But I was obedient because he knew the phone was gonna crash. That thing told me like I ain't got no phone service, man. I know that's a lot. So, Carl, we're getting too deep on the you were cutting them snake niggas. Didn't I tell you? When them wicked people you call wickedness get mad, boy, they show themselves. I'm just patiently waiting for my stuff to come on, cuz if you still on the face, man, there's no way that your Facebook people can hear it because now, wow, it's a lot going on, but we'll get it going. So, how y'all like the reels? Y'all like the reels? Y'all leave me some comment. Already in the building, Eli Diograssi. You know, I'm a terrible host. I get in the spirit quick. I'm a terrible host. Angel Rolling. KG Brown in the crib, in the house. All right, my mind is like trying to keep up with the Holy Spirit and call cuz, talk to y'all at the same time. My vessel is about to go overload. All right, back in here. God, what that was about, bro?
Oh, you didn't want to talk to me no more?
See, you know, cuz got a joke. No, bro, I thought it was you. Come to find out, I got it all live on the YouTube. You know, when we get done, I'm going to send it to you. They saw it live. I tried to call you, and my whole phone said that I didn't have no registered, like, you know, my phone is off or something. So I was like, what? Yeah, I showed the video and everything. I was like, yo, you were cutting the Prince of the Air so hard. Bruh, he was in your head. He didn't want the message out. So you got your Facebook is still on?
Yes, sir.
All right, carry on. You left off. We were talking about bringing the people together. Don't be. Well, you know where you left off. You got the floor. Go ahead.
Okay, because I did move on, but I'll back it up so everybody can be a part of it. You know, we sometimes just, you know, when you're driving down the road, if you're in the open lane, why you can't really help anybody who had an accident. Why would you pull up behind the accident and block the road rather than getting in that open lane? The police are there and everything. You just keep it moving, right?
Yes, sir.
So I did keep it moving. So I'm going to back up to go forward.
Okay.
So,
one more thing. I don't know. No, that's not me. You're breaking up just a tad bit. But go ahead.
I'm breaking up a tad bit.
Now you're clear. Yeah.
Okay. So, I guess I was on the unity of us and comprehending who we are, where we come from, so we get a better grip on where we're going. And so, the way we operate is a thought process. And once we admit that we've been lied to, then we can look at ourselves and say, well, my thought process isn't right because I'm operating off the lies. I'm operating within them. And everything I want to solve is outside of the lie. It has to be in the truth. So the way we fix ourselves cannot be lost in a lie. When we study things for the various subjects that they are, we have to realize that everything is a language. Psychology, psychiatry, law, finances, these are all different languages. And there are as much different languages as an exotic language, meaning the languages of every land. Spanish, French, German, English, Arabic. Those are exotic languages. Languages, people in religion have a language. They can sit around and have a conversation and just come from religion and lose some people. Mechanics can do the same thing. Pilots can do the same thing. You want a direction, a pilot can give you the direction and he'll talk about longitude and latitude in his direction. You'll be lost. And he spoke English to you. But the language that he told you of his profession of being a pilot, you might not relate to. You got to go get a book. So you have to understand that, to understand the difference between what we know and what the actual history of our people was. Our people history, or I could even say the history of the world. At one time, everybody spoke one language. That one language is up in the sky above us. Everybody spoke the language of the sky. Then, because we are one with all of that, everybody spoke the internal language of themselves. To the point where if I wanted to know, I could point and you would know which direction something was, everything was, and you would just move and everything. So at one time, everything was this universal, one world government order. It was there because people want to say, well, we were simple. But no, we wasn't, because people were still building and doing stuff. It was recognized because we didn't have control over each other. No one sought control. No one sought wealth the way we seek material wealth today. During this time, we said everything is a science. The science of alchemy, which is the study of self, is turning lead into gold. Not lead, physical lead, but the lead of self, those things that, that make you feel low. I'm not having a good day. This was a bad week. That's lead. It's weighing you down. It's stopping you from being your higher self, Kundalini, the third eye, and all of that kind of talk that has been pushed to science fiction and all that. This is real spiritual stuff about yourself. It is science fiction. It is science turned into fiction to make it seem unreal. So that's why when the mummy come out the casket in all these movies, always evil. It's not a real story. You see what I'm saying? It's science fiction. It's somebody else's thought of your science. So you're born an alchemist. From the time you're born, your eyes are open and you're looking around the world and you're studying. You're a scientist. I'm trying to show you simple things so we can get into this Moses scripture properly to show you how you got removed from yourself. To be born a science, you had to come through your mother. Now watch them take your mother's rights away. Watch the system of lies take your mother's rights away. It is said, in order to be a Muslim, you have to take the Shahada. In our world, we flip that and we say, in order for you to be existence, you took the Shahada. You had to admit to the creator of all the things of the creator in order to come here and experience this on this plane. And then when you admitted to it and you were in the womb, you began to grow. And mommy said, oh, I'm pregnant. You started. Mommy also baptized you with her amniotic fluid. That's the holy water that carried you for 9 months around. And lo and behold, now today in our health, not medical, in our health, we say how the baby should stay attached to the mother longer. The placenta has energy. The baby should be drinking on the mother. See, we start, it wasn't just drink the mother's breast milk. It was also the placenta and the holy water that the baby was in and staying attached to the umbilical cord longer. That gave you the fullness of who you are. These things were cut away from us. How did they get cut away from us? Well, when you're supposed to stay attached to the umbilical cord longer, right? With us men, they cut off the foreskin. And I'm not saying that, do it or not do it. I'm saying you're cut from the umbilical cord. That's natural. Who thought about cutting the foreskin and why? These are thoughts from somebody else's head outside of everything else. Just like your eyelashes and stuff are a protector, maybe the foreskin is a protector. Who knows without any studies? So how did we come to this perception? We have the Abrahamic faiths, Judaism, Christianity, and Al-Islam, are all pointed to paternal, the man, the father. The masculine form is in control. They cemented this thought in our heads when Moses came from the mountain. When Moses came from the mountain and saw them worshiping the golden calf. That's the story. And then there shall be no God but I, and the rule, the 10 Commandments. Listen to the other side of that. The golden calf is Mother Hathor, because she was the calf. The golden, once again, is not physical gold. It's righteous teaching and righteous thought from the third eye, from the Kundalini, that Mother Hathor was giving the people in Moses' absence, because we have a problem. Everyone needs to be saved. It should be a bunch of men standing up trying to save us. Now we're in our everyday life. Mommy takes over on how things are run every day. Balance and understanding. It was there. This Abrahamic faith came to shake it up. And if you don't believe in it, now you're a pagan. You're an unbeliever and all this other. You're a heretic and all this other stuff. If you believe in the maternal order, if you believed in alchemy, if you operated within these systems, you were a pagan, you were a heretic, you were a witch, you lost your life. They put fear into you to take away the authority of the women. Now let's not abuse it because you just talking about the women one. No, hold up. This is natural order. Your first throne is on your mother's lap. They took that from you when Moses came down from the mountain and said, there shall be no God but me, and thou shalt not, and Ray, the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments were like, they used 1/4 of total law, of total internal law to teach you about yourself. They use 1/4. If they only got 10, my aunt got 42. So that 10 is 1/4 of 40. They use 1/10 and strip mommy of her authority. My aunt is, again, the maternal order, the maternal figure of justice.
Stop.
Who would have
right there. For the Hebrews and everybody else, there's a total of 642 laws. It was spoken that if we understood the very first one, it wouldn't be no matter for the rest of them. So Mayat is the justice of what we call the father coming to judge, which is androgynous, and the other 642, the 10 they talk about, which is the 10 Sephiroth tribes, but we'll come back to that. But the fullness of the Great Spirit is 642. 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 2 is 12. Back to you. Go ahead, cuz.
Okay, so and I've heard about this 642, and I've heard brothers say that they saved themselves in court with the 642. And I got to say this with a caution. You can't just jump up, speak these words, or try to act in this manner for 1 day, 2 days for the situation that you in. You have to have a track record of existence within this type of living. Because once you say that this is what you're doing, they're going to check you. And if they find out, oh no, look, they're still using this here, they're still using that there, they're still getting over it, then they're not going to honor what you're saying, what you finally want to say about who you are and how you are. They're not going to honor it because you keep operating and taking offers from our table. And it is from our table that all these decisions are made and or you get any benefits. And this is why you have to operate within the lie. So that's Moses, who stripped the maternal order from us and put the woman under the man. And now the woman, you know, all the stuff that is said about women and all of that. So I don't need to go into what they say. You know what it says. And if you listen to any of the Israelites today, the way they talk about women, who is y'all talking to? Whose mother are you talking to? Whose sister or daughter are you talking to? I'm not accepting what you're saying to them women the way you saying it to them women. You sound very nasty and disrespectful. Where you get that from? Well, it says right here in the book, you prove my case. Soon as you went to that book, you proved my case about the abusiveness of these so-called religions upon the women and the maternal order of what is supposed to be going on in our existence. So the more you want to pull up the books, the more you're going to confirm what is being said. And part of this is what's pulling our people into the situation of what they're in, because no one respects mommy. And this is the saddest part about everything that we're going through. All the rest of it, people dying and stuff. People die every day and all that good stuff, right? But, and once again, it's a shame. I'm not talking about Diddy, because Diddy was a child at one time. And what Diddy is going through is like you get to see what his childhood and what the rest of the world put on him. So, but a young lady came on, and as a grown man, now I hold him responsible for his actions. If he did, and he's a part of what she said. That young lady, greetings, Sky Star, that young lady that you see on the table, and if you want to see the videos and stuff, and they're all eating off her body, supposedly she was only 13 years old when they did it to her. When she was laying on that table, she was 13. A bunch of grown people walking around. She came on and spoke herself on the Lionel B show on YouTube. I'm giving you the name so you can go see these things for yourself. She cried, and it made me want to cry, because grown men were out there, grown people were out there destroying a child for their own benefit and their own pleasure. And then, well, brother, you speak too hard, brother. Brother, you always, we're at war and all. Yeah, when they're doing this to children, I'm my mama's son. I walk into a room and there's a baby who is very pale skinned with blonde hair, blue eyes, and through our racistness, a hook nose. And I'm describing that child. Blonde hair, blue eyes, and a hook nose. Guess whose mama child ain't coming home today? I see that little blonde hair, blue eyed, hook nosed child getting abused. Guess whose mama's child? I'm not coming home, because not an adult in this room would deserve any more breath to me. Not if they abusing that blonde, blue hair. And I'm saying this purposely to let people know race don't matter. Your abuse on a child goes way above anything about race. And yes, I started Teresa Stewart. It's grown people who are abusing children. And now the truth is coming out through Diddy. And then we got to be smart. Oh, that's a whole attack on all of us. We got to see that point of it. You know what I'm saying? Like as if they want to be able to point and say, this is what the hip hop community and their leaders, this is what they do. Well, it sounds like the leaders are middlemen for somebody else. And that again, Quincy Jones was as high as Leo Cohen. He's as high as there's another Clyde Davis. Quincy Jones, Clyde Davis, same level, doing the same dirt to the people. So if you start telling me about the race, yo, is you crazy? We're gonna dismiss our actions because of skin color? I'm not the Pope. I'm not the Pope. I'm not anybody in the Vatican. You will not be a priest hanging around us abusing women and children and think we're just going to send you off to the next parish. That won't happen here. None of us, you won't get us to agree in any kind of way with anything you said or did when it comes to those type of things. And so it is because of these repetitious lies that we fall in or have fallen in, we keep acting in a system that has no benefits for us. And this is where, it comes down to a point where we don't need this and we don't need that. It doesn't make a difference which land from you're from. Yo, listen, everything in its proper place. Everything. We start with word ether, 9 ether. And I'm just using that. We could just start with the fact of being 9 ether, because 9 ether brings us back into the universe and don't have to and doesn't have anything to do with here yet. It's the 9 ether. So yeah, we agree with 9 ether. There's no way I could deny the outer parts of me and things of that nature, the parts of me that I don't know anything about. I can't deny that. Now I'm here. When I'm here, I was born to a particular place. On a particular place. This is where I was born to. This is where I came to be at, in a particular place. And that particular place is my habitat. That's mine. Above anybody who wants to cross over from someplace else and come here. It's mine. And when I say, you know why it's mine? Because when I woke up in the morning and then we existed as a people, I seen like, oh, well, the bushes are growing too far over here. And I cleaned them up. And then food needed to be grown. I helped grow the food. Water needed to, I went and helped get water. See, it's not mine just because I was born here. I was born here and then I did work to secure this and make this, build this up for me and the people. So somebody come from the outside just telling us what to do today. Oh, excuse me. Where did you come from? And since it don't operate like that over here, what issues are you pressing? Which issues are you going for? So let me show people this again, right? And for the comments that we are having in here right now. When you clean up your backyard, trust me, there are people watching you clean up your backyard. And if they don't see how your clean backyard benefits them, they come in the dirty of your yard. Do you understand that? Can you understand hate, real hate from nowhere? Where does it come from? Why are you good to people and nice to people and some of them don't even reciprocate or give it back? Then, after you do this for a while, you fall into a state of depression that hampers your forward mobility. And it's like a cycle that we keep going through where we can't get nowhere. Well, to me, it's because we didn't stand up to the truth in the first place about the entire thing. Side Star Teresa Stewart says it comes from fear. Yes, you know what the fear is? Because of all the abuse they had over here, they can't believe that you're so nice and kind. And then because nobody over here is nice and kind, that's where all their fear is coming from. This is where our wars come from. What is that? The fact that you cleaned your backyard, that's the real hate. Period. Don't look for anything else in there. I went outside, cleaned my backyard. The neighbor's yard is dirty. He's not going to go clean his yard. He's going to hate on me cleaning mine. So every once in a while they have parties and stuff. Him and his people throw a can in my backyard. They'll throw paper through their fence in my backyard. They'll make sure that trash builds up in a certain area so that my clean backyard looks less than what they want to do with their backyard. So when I'm operating every day, now I see that this person nasty. Rather than go argue with them, I get some pretty bushes and put them up, in front of their yard. It's costing me more money now, so I can let that disgust me. Then I'm digging in my pocket, but I got to put up a few more bushes and flowers and stuff. See, I'm gonna keep mine looking decent. I'm gonna make them overdo their dirt. I'm gonna make them prove that they so dirty. The city gonna come through and be like, "What do you got going on back here? If you don't clean this yard up, we'll take your house, your land. We'll put you in jail for the filth that you have." This is how we're supposed to build ourselves. This is the medicine to build up. But if you don't recognize the lies, the lies. What's your nationality? Black, African American.
Say that joke again.
Didn't we say blacks and African Americans don't have no nation? They don't have no land? I'm gonna ask you again. What's your nationality?
Definitely not an alien.
Here goes the lie you living in, and you perpetrating it every single day. It's that simple. Now, let people live where they want to live. I wish everybody else felt that way, because then we still be living under a maternal order. We wouldn't have half the stuff going on that we have going on if people were just, if you were living in a way that was conducive to a proper way of living. Then you would never hear blacks and African Americans complaining about a system where we get pulled over the most, where scientists are sitting down saying, "Oh, well, statistical people, proportionately, blacks and African Americans, there's more of them in jail when actually there's more Caucasian people in jail." And then you can't even say 10% of the Caucasian population is in jail and 10% of the black population in jail. No, it's more like 30% of the black population is in jail and 7% of the white population is in jail. Where is that coming from? I sat in a meeting where the jail people came in the meeting and they said to the people, "Well, in the next year, we're going to need X amount of beds, and it's going to cost." Ooh, you hear that word right there, cost? Now I know why they're doing it. I mean, I knew then, but I'm being sarcastic right now. For cost, X amount of dollars in order to house these people. I'm going to say this again. I write my own business papers, like business plans and stuff. I say we're going to go from point A to point D, and this is how we're going to do it. These are the things that we got to look out for. How somebody write up a business plan talking about we're going to need X amount of jail beds and all, unless they plan on doing something to help make those jail beds. You and I don't see that when they have private companies own prisons. What are they doing that helps exacerbate this? Around 1987, 88, 89, we were told that there was a meeting with the prison systems and the industry where they were going to use hip-hop, weaponize hip-hop for the school-to-prison pipeline. And I've been seeing it ever since. People can say it's, that's not real. I see the results of such an idea. I said I work for the state within their system. In 1991, Clinton was president. They passed some law, I don't remember the name of it, But if you had the drug in your system, you got less time. When I tell you I know thorough dudes, 80s, moving into the 90s, when they gave you the don't use this, you might use this, don't use this at all. I'm telling you, won't be my boy, I can't roll with you, can't trust you, don't use this at all. By 91, 92, people was telling me they was using these different things to get less time in jail. The children are the ones in the street now from 91. Those children are just turning in their 20s and 30s right now, right? So they got grandchildren. So, but the 91s who were making young children throughout the 90s, the majority of their families was their father and mothers were on drugs or alcoholics and things of that nature, feeding into the system, trying to get less time, so they were doing the drug, becoming a worse individual with inability to care for themselves. Why were they doing this? Because they were Black and African Americans trying to survive in the system with a fake idea through hip hop, the hip hop culture of who we were. You mean to tell me I'm the only one who sees it? I can't say that right now. People be like, yup, I can see that. I can see that. Because I'm going to tell you what we had before 1987, before NWA hit the airwaves with Women Ain't Bleep But Bleeps and Bleeps. It wasn't like this.
Sure wasn't.
After Michael Jackson made Thriller, crack hit the neighborhoods and everybody looked like a character from Thriller right after Michael Jackson made Thriller. So you check the years on those things, and somebody who was 15 in 1980 is showing you a destruction of us that was orchestrated. And they helped use the industry to orchestrate it. Because prior to Thriller and the crack, everything was sex, drugs, rock and roll. And you came through the
hippies, yeah.
The 70s era with the love, free love, and the 70s era with the funky heron and all of that.
Bell bottoms.
See, it's a continuation of lies that you and I aspire to, that keep us in the problem at hand, and every time we try to fight the lie, we were fighting it with the lie. So I know it's a lie to say I'm a Black and African American, but if I'm Black Lives Matter, and then at the end of Black Lives Matter, I don't know if you ever read their website. I did read it, and I should have snapshot it. But at the end of Black Lives Matter, it said that they want to destroy the nuclear family. What's the nuclear family? Oh, you mean mother, father, child? You want to destroy the original Trinity? If you destroy the original Trinity of mother, father, child, how do more beings get on the earth? If you destroy that relationship. This is what really, like, you're against everything. I'm not against everything. I just can't be for everything. I can't be for all the different waving. And I even put it like this. I can't be for things that will diminish an action. Especially if it's a horrible action, I won't diminish it. That's what it was, and that's how it should be treated. So it won't be treated that way again. Lies. If we look up who are the original Semitic people, then how can you and I ever say anything anti-Semitic? If we are the Semitic people, we can't ever say anything anti-Semitic in what we think, what we think or feel. You can't be anti-Semitic, and I'm using think or feel this time. In an opinion, you cannot be anti-Semitic because you are Semitic. Homo, you're homo. There's something about a fear of homosexuality, right? Homophobia. I'm scared of human. We're all some type of homo, right? I'm scared of human, and then homogenized milk. I'm scared of. What do you mean homophobia?
Same. Yeah. Same. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's a Homo sapien?
I go outside, I see the same. I see masculine and feminine. Well, where is the homophobia at? Where am I scared of the homo, of the same at? What sense are, so see, these things are just said and thrown out there, but if you don't have, and I do take the time to try to like master the words and have a comprehension of the real meaning of the words. Since realizing my Moorish existence, I've been applying not the source, the etymological corrections of these words too. That's how come I can say to you, if you're a human, you're a monster. By law, you're a monster if you are a human. That's not what we are. We are beings having an experience within this existence. We aren't alive. We're not living. All of these things, and I'm telling you, you got to study the words, but we do exist. Definitely. Well, I want to do more than exist. I want to live. You want to be evil? Take the word L-I-V-E, flip it. E-V-I-L. Add a D on it and you got the devil. These words are a spell upon us so that as we live them, we fill ourselves with negative energy. And then we begin to operate in negative energy. And they did it to the 1%, let's say. They did it to the 99%. And so then there's another 5% who are able to dig themselves of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of everything that's going on. And then there's another 10%, or as they said, give me a second on that, just so I finish this thought. There's another 10% who help carry out what the 5% and the 1% we're all sitting down thinking about. And really, that's 16% of the people controlling 84% of the people at all times. So, through this group called the Boule, they have something about the excellent 10% of black people who will get to enjoy the higher echelon of the world. You know, the money, the fame, the fortune. I'm telling you, you can look these things up. And if these people are operating in these manners, then who are you and I to say that they're not? And once you and I start admitting, just admit the truth. Be ready to face the truth. Be ready to live within the truth. See, this is the main point of this conversation. In order for, I just can't tell you they lying. You got to live in the truth. I got to tell you all the things that relate to it and show it to you. Then when it comes to what do we listen to and operate every day? As I said, I'm not really talking about P. Diddy for the sake of him being P. Diddy. Because what he did, or what they're claiming he did, ain't that been going on? Ain't that always been like flesh is the number one seller? So what P. Diddy is doing, it ain't nothing new. When it's tied to who we are, that's when it's a problem. And the way P. Diddy is, this is going on about P. Diddy, everybody in the industry, it's to paint a black picture on me and you. And I don't even think some people are going to get the meaning of what I just said. Some people be proud that I said it. He said they're going to paint a black picture. This ain't the black the way you see it. This is like blackmail. They want to paint the idea of you and I, black market. See, they want to paint an evil face on every last single one of us by pointing out this industry, showing a whole bunch of melanated men as the ones who are carrying it on, while the others sneak off by. And the only way they don't get to do that is when you and I stand up together and put our foot down together. And then individually, everyone is operating within the code. And so when you begin to speak certain situations, Kamala Harris, right? This is a perfect conversation to bring Moses into, and how Moses dethroned the matriarch. Kamala Harris was an attempt by the United States to dethrone the matriarch. See, if Kamala Harris wins, then all the women, oh, we got it! Ah! It's hard for us to talk to our women about being my aunt when one of them is, it looks like one of them is the president of the United States. Now they got all the power. Ain't that been the trick of the mind for all this time? We're getting the father out of the home. Some of the things we're admitting to, so I shouldn't have to go too far. Going back to the 60s and 70s, this look like the same picture? But the whole idea of my aunt, they say we're moving into a new time. There's woke people, there's conscious people. See, they know what's coming and how it's coming. And they know that my aunt is going to be in her place. But if they get the energy of Kamala up there to replace my aunt, then they're good. They'll take us another 20, 30 years to fight our way through. Why? Because everybody's going to live off Kamala and the first black president. See that black thing, African, first African. And then you go, oh, she wasn't. You see her skin color automatically on this land made her a black and an African American. All she had to do was want to say it and accept it. And there's nothing you can do to turn that around. But everybody who she was working around already considered her a black and an African American. They were already putting them out. How much she said Indian, they were going, you work with us. You're a black and an African American. And they put her in that category. My aunt and feminism are two different things. Kamala Harris, feminism. My aunt ain't about feminism. My aunt is feminine. What's the ism? Her actions? That's all it could be. All this talk about, the man just wants to tell the woman. No, we don't. Men don't want to tell you. Maybe Moses, because when he came down, he saw everybody talking to my aunt, and he was like, no, I'm God. You only going to talk to me. You're going to tell laws going to tell you to talk to me. So he erased 60% of what she said just to say what he wanted to say. So yeah, Moses want to fight you that way. The Pope want to fight you that way. Some of these Arab leaders and leaders in these churches want to fight that. Not me. When my mother, I'm 60 years old. I think the creator, my mother's still on this earth. My mother told me sit down, I'm gonna sit down. Maybe not all the time. There's certain times when a man needs to stand up, right? Because then he keeps everybody protected. But the majority of the time, my mother say sit down, I'm gonna sit down. Stand down right now, I'm gonna stand down. I'm gonna stand down. At least give her the opportunity to make sense out of it, because the only other thing that can happen is I'm in the graveyard or I'm sitting in jail, because that's my mama standing on deck. That's my sister standing on deck. My niece, my cousin, they standing on deck. And they speak, and you're not going to stand there and disrespect them. We all feel that way about our mothers. We just been short on how to protect them and how to do it. And they're not, they want to stand their ground too, so that they can be too strong in their stand sometimes. It's on the balance. We need to find that balance again and make that balance within our families and exist it within our families. So that's my story about Moses and how Moses took away the maternal order. And you can find all the kind of thing. Once you control the mother, you control the children. Once you read that in the history of slavery and stuff like that, and the thought of the so-called slave master of controlling the children, to control the mother, control the children. If the mother is a slave, then the children are a slave. When you can understand those type of thoughts, all work in the maternal order. And that's why they say them things. Then you'll understand how we lost our position and what it is that I'm speaking to. And then you say, well, he's really not worried about any of that stuff. But for the conversations that we can have, a lot of this stuff is relevant. And we're not going to push it to the side in order for us to gain understanding of what we're after and what we're doing. Because Honestly, the problem is we all don't understand. We're all not going to understand at one time and all that. See, I know that. But it's the ones of us, cousin.
Yo.
I said a few things to you a while back. Honestly, how long did it take you to see what I was saying to you?
Maybe 6 hours to a day. Not very long. Not very long. Sometime immediately.
Okay, so, and it happens just like that brother who was speaking the other day. He said some good stuff about justice and the two opposite ways of justice. Babylonian. You stole from me, I stole from you. The other way, the more spiritual way, I forgot what the word he used. You stole from me, I'm going to get justice on you. Now, which group of people are we? Are we the Babylonians, an eye for an eye? Or are we, and you took an eye, I'm going to get justice now?
We the people that's going to get the great mother, justice. And she going to deal with you. She's the avenger. Back to you.
And I am a protector of that mother.
Correct.
And her right to do such a thing.
We all are.
This is the difference.
Oh, Christian, so you don't feel left out. This is what you call the Holy Spirit. That's how they hid that. Because it's the spirit that you must worship in truth and justice. Correct? John 4:24. All you saying is Maya.
All you saying is Maya. And so this, so I mean, we can go into the books. This is why I just talk like this rather than like when you're reading your book. If it fills you with, I don't want to take that from you. But when I come up and speak, don't think I'm gonna let you take it from me. And then if we have to go into your books, I'm gonna make you feel kind of bad about the stuff you're reading, especially because we're going. When we study history, we say 1492, and then we go on, right? Now we know BC period, but no, talk to me about the BC period. Let's see how far we get. But when we study the Bible, the scriptures with the BC period, and then add war to the mix, that's when you're going to see a clearer picture. Look at take history, put it with the Bible, and then look at what the result of wars. And you're going to watch us come right down to this timeline through everything that they say. But you got to be willing to do that. After you get a hang of being able to match up a certain war at a certain time, go study the laws that came with it. And that's how you find out who our people are and the reason why. You can't tell me I'm against Black and African Americans. That would be telling me like, you're against Batman. Does Batman exist? Now, how can I be against Batman? He's a hero, superhero comic book, right? He's cool. I ain't got nothing to say about him. That's the same way I have to identify and deal with Blacks and African Americans along that same line. Because I know these people came from a nation, whether they want to know it or not. I know they came from a nation, they are a nation, and they have land. So by me not accepting it, I've given you more respect and honor than you even given yourself by taking that moniker on, which came from white supremacy. And we're supposed to be fighting white supremacy and those things that hold us down. How can I fight it if I'm accepting it?
Maya, if we look at it the way we're supposed to read it, it would be Tiama, Tamaria, which means the sealed power I am, or the life-living Walter. However you want. Go ahead.
Yeah, cuz, I mean, so he took the word Ma'at and flipped it. He started with the T now and gave an understanding. I'm going to say this again. Everything that we got today, it has come from a lie. So I'm reading Ma'at, and then he comes with I have no problem with saying I am as opposed to Ma'at.
Because look, watch this. The ancient Kim is in Grand Canyon. Not only did you say they destroyed, they was the angelic playing God in front of Moses, which literally told us 3,000 people died over voodoo sorcery blood on a mountain with some tablets. Where in the New Testament, those same people was resurrected, 3,000, when the true Mayat Parathogenesis, which you didn't hear my message just today, my reels, and all day on YouTube, been saying, and for months, we hung the mother. We didn't hang Christ. That was a hologram that we thought was a he. It was a she. But nobody was going to listen to no she back then. So she came into the form of what niggas would accept. Well, most.
No, wait. See, because that's what we got to understand. People was listening to that feminine form. That was the problem.
Right.
That was the problem. And then, you know, you got crusades.
I like how you said that.
The crusades wasn't Christian and Muslims and Judaic people fighting each other. It was all three of them fighting against the maternal order all over the world.
Right. And in ancient times, if they thought you was a witch, what did they do to them? Hung them. They hung them. I just want to put out physical truths, spiritual truth, because the spirit in you killing them right now. I just want everybody to understand we all in the same boat. We all do this. And this is what I've been trying to bring the mother back. We can be whole again. Your own scripture say you can blaspheme the Father. You can deny the Son. Don't know why you want to do that. But you better. It said you better not blaspheme the great mother. Now, why? Well, your scripture would say, Holy Spirit. Then your book say, the Son sits in the bosom of the Father. And this is how they got us. See, the Father is the ether. The ether is the great mother. So in Hebrew, and only in Aramaic, Hebrew, and Arabic, will you understand F is pay, which means the mouth is open. So you're not saying Father, you are saying the open mouth of the mother. Period. Back to you, cuz.
And again, this is why, rather than I speak to you about religion, we took the cover of religion, third world order, to make it a safety net for all of us to exist. It's a safety net for all of us to exist in. Within the third world order, if you do this, then you are owed everything, all bounties that the Creator gave you to have. And no one has a right to tread upon you and trespass you because you inhale and exhale. The Creator gave you that right. Now you didn't get it from me or anybody else. So who are you and me to try to take it from each other? No matter skin color, anything. See, all of that's, we're wiping all of that out. Once you inhale and exhale, you deserve everything that the Creator had made for us in this existence. After that, your body is the temple. So as I explain in the documents that I write, we don't have an address for a particular temple because every body is a temple. So that means we got 1 million addresses. All somebody has to do is start applying themselves, and they're part of the third world order. Your address is as good as anybody else's address because you're doing you. You're controlling you. There's no, you got to do this in the third world religious. You got to pray at this. We don't care about none of that. Praying, P-R-E-Y, P-R-A-Y is the same thing. I'm praying to God to give me. I'm praying on this rabbit over here to give me. There's no difference. When you take something from the earth, somebody else is denied that, what you took. Whether it's a sip of water out of from a river, once you sip it, it's yours. The other person can't take that. So when people go gather up all the water, they're denying everybody the water. Just at the end of the season, when they go harvest for these companies, and they got 50 billion cans of corn on the cob with their name on it, or whole kernel corn with their name on it, that corn belongs to all of us. How you got it in a can with your name on it telling me I got to pay for it? Oh, yeah, we didn't go to work for it. That corn belongs to all of us. It's as simple as that. But We don't want to accept the simplicity of it. We don't want to have to take on any responsibilities for anything. We'd rather other people do for us than we do for ourselves. And then nobody wants me to be in charge. They'd rather have somebody. All right, I'm telling y'all, I've read and seen so much, it's crazy. I read this book one time called Poland. Author somebody is the author. And in this book, Poland, it's the story, a family story in Poland throughout, let's say, the First World War into the Second World War. Austria, Germany, in another country, not France in it, but Austria, Germany, and another countries, they kept having Russia. They kept having wars with each other. Guess where they had their wars at? Straight through Poland. Why did they keep having their wars with Poland? Because every time it was time for Poland to elect a leader, they elected it from one of them other places rather than electing a Polish person to be the leader. See, the Polish leader going to stand there and be like, you can't come across these borders. But if Austria owns it, then Austria's like, what are you doing? When? Let you through where? You want to do what? Oh, you're going to get rid of them and help us? Then yeah, come here. And they made deals back and forth where Poland was just always ran over in the story. As I read the story, I seen us. I see my people getting run over. When I hear Hitler, and many people get mad at me for this, but when I hear Hitler talk and what led up to what he did, the ignorance that he expounded, but the stuff that he was saying, if my people listen to it, you can relate to it. You can relate to it. Your culture being destroyed by what you feel is another culture destroying it. Only, is your culture being destroyed by another culture? You want to tell the truth? And well, I'll tell it for you. In one way it is, and another way it's not. In the other way, they got me and you destroying the culture. You know why? Me and you are so bullied to each other. Other people can come in our neighborhood and do whatever they want, but me and you will stand there and crap out each other and be ready to fight and kill each other and talk junk about each other. But anybody else come in our neighborhood and do whatever they want. So that's me and you being complicit with somebody else's plan to destroy us. We're not thinking. And I'm not saying go after another people, but I'm saying those people are bringing harm to you. But the only person you take it out on is somebody who looks like you. You might as well just go to a tree, take your own rope, and leave everybody else alone. Because you're doing it anyways. So I said, we're going to plain talk. Facebook community can't get mad because this is us talking about our community and how to clean up our world. And this is how far things have gone to say things are dirty and wrong in our world. It's at the extremes. Babies are snatched off the street for other people's, grown people's enjoyment. I couldn't be around it. I couldn't know that some man that I'm with, that I know, my boy is into this. Do you think you're still gonna be my boy at the end of the day? If one of us, and I'm caught, and I'm gonna say this again, certain things I will call the police for. And I'll drag the police around me, and I know people don't like that either. I'm gonna call the police. Why? It's better than me going to jail. Oh, he's a squealer. Then no, I'm not. I won't watch nobody's mama, nobody's sister be snatched off the street. I will tell the car color and everything. I'll follow the car. I'll take pictures if I can. I'm not you snatching babies and children, something wrong with us, man. We're losing our minds.
Say it again. Because they don't like when you say spirits got you. Say it again. We doing what?
Losing our minds. For nothing. And it's sickening. And for what I'm telling y'all, you got to see the video. Lionel B show. You got to watch that video. And as a man, just see your daughter. Just imagine if your mother made it back and this is what she's telling you. And Bill Cosby put a cigar out on my pubic area. What? He did. Bill Cosby did what?
Hey, you know what I got to say? Where are the men at in their family at that time? That's showing us how much we don't have alpha males out here. Back to you, cuz.
I mean, it really, we can all break it down and say, yep, it's that simple. Where are the men at? The men are in jail. The men were killed. The men are on drugs. The men are so busy running games and stuff that they didn't look back. And some of the men are complicit with the actions. And R. Kelly. Now, listen, I'm not talking about these people, y'all. These are the situations. In R. Kelly's situation, they said the parents brought the daughter to R. Kelly. Where are the men? The dad brought the daughter to R. Kelly. You don't think that's crazy?
Oh, yeah. That you could, nobody's dumb, but you can be spellbound, controlled. Back to you. If you're not doing what you supposed to do for your inner soul and generations, yes, you will be easy and complicit and be turned into a non-planned character. Back to you.
Yes, sir. And so this is what, like, again, I don't be trying to brag on myself, but honestly, these people all offered me $80,000 to shut up and stop playing. And this was in 1999, 2000. They offered me $80,000 to shut up and start talking about my community. And when sometimes I only, like Cuz say, I leave out certain things when I'm speaking. They also told the people who was around, they told them to still my mind. That was the order with the $80,000. Still my mind. I don't have a college degree, but I can compete. Once I say I know a field and how to I can compete with the best of them in any of it. Don't tell me the corporation. I understand corporation. What's wrong with you? What type of corporation is it? That's all I need to know. Logistics and all of that. I understand. I probably couldn't just tomorrow get up and go work on a dockyard. But I tell you what, you take me in the office of the dockyard, at the end of the day, I'll be running that dockyard. Things come in and they go out and they have to be put in places and stuff. See, I know that. So now working the mechanics to get them up on there, I might smash a shit with one of them tanks trying to get the crane up there to do it. But I know the logistics. You should have been there 2 hours ago. Where'd you get lost at on the ocean that you showing up 2 hours late, 2 or 3 hours late? What were you doing? How far out could you have been? I can measure that out in time and distance. So can you. Once you take in certain logics about things, you could do it. Yo, it's all simple stuff. Y'all, it's all simple. No matter what it is, taxes are simple. All you have to do is know a little bit about tax law and then be willing to study it. But you have to, certain things you're going to have to know before you even really get into the full studies of it. You have to be able to say, I know. Without being able to say, I know, don't try to touch it. Okay, so here's this brother out there. His name is Yusuf L, High Frequency Radio. Y'all should check him out. There's another group, 432 Drop Nation, where, cuz this was a question I've been meaning to ask you. How come nobody talks about Prester John?
Well, you got me. Enlighten me.
Prester John was from this land. He's an Israelite from this land over in the Utah area. 432 Drop Nation.
Stop. Wait a minute. Now, I didn't know about this guy. But I have been working that we are over there in Utah, where Utah come from. Ah, look how God works. I'm writing this down. Preston what?
Prester John.
Prester John. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no problem, because I keep forgetting to bring that up. I mean, every time we talk, I keep forgetting to bring up Prester John. He's like essential information. And so, I'll take it from the creator that this was the time it was right for it to come out, because the creator knows for about a year now. I've been meaning to ask you, because you're Israelite. How do you know about Prester John?
No, and you enlightened the hell out of me just then. So, but I was working that way.
So his name is Prester John. I want to show my people something about what we think slavery is, right?
Yep.
His name is Prester John, and then we have people with the last name Johnson. How we get to be Johnson? Because the slave master came in, his name was John, and then we was John's son. No, because of your Prester John's son. Now go study who Prester John is, and know that that's your father, your uncle. Prester John is your father, and you're a John's son. Stop giving away our power, our ability. Stop handing it out to everybody, and accept what's yours. When you accept it, there comes duty, responsibility, and accountability. And that's the part that I'm saying everybody's scared of. Nobody wants to be responsible. Nobody wants other people looking and saying, oh, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? When are we supposed to do it? How are we supposed to? Nobody wants that. Everybody's scared of that. Everybody's scared to just, like say, okay, I'm in charge. Here we go. Let's do it this way. Let's get it done that way. Because then what if I fail? The duty. Everybody just want to lay back and play with their toys and games. That's all everybody want to do. So this accountability, duty, and responsibility, I look at it and say, don't nobody want it. So then, therefore, when you're not working to control your world, somebody going to come along and control it. Hence, white supremacy. You're Black, African American. You're a United States citizen, and you're living outside of law. You're living within a lie, trying to make things right within the lie. If I'm in the ocean drowning, and I keep telling myself, all I have to do is grab this pole right here and I'll be alive. And, I'll stay alive. If there's no pole there, I'm either delusional or I'm lying to myself. And every time I try to grab this pole, it's going to slip out of my hand. We got to fight Black power. Black people we need Black economics. Keep falling back down, drowning, don't you? It's because we're not operating as a nation. We've never operated as a nation. When they tell you, oh, well, the Nation of Islam, they kept telling you was Black and showing you was African American. They told you about slavery and stuff. They wasn't operating as a nation. They was operating as a group of people under the United States direction. Everybody still got IDs from the United States and stuff. That's how you know that we never did what we were supposed to be doing. Never. But in 1929, somebody died showing us what we were supposed to do, how we were supposed to do it. Then for whatever reason, after 1929, 1930, Elijah Muhammad immediately shows up calling you Black after you were told in 29 not to call yourself Black and African American. In 1930, Elijah shows up guiding you on that way with Master Farah Muhammad. And so everything became murky and died after that. And as far as the Moorish groups that were temples that were supposed, they said they went underground. Those people feared for their lives, for their existence. So they went underground. And now today they're able to bring the movement back out. And the prophet did say to be in the 2000s when we come into our own right. So boom. This is what we're doing. And so we're expanding it too. The prophet said, many nations, many tongues, many names. So it's not just Moors. There are many tongues, different languages, many people, different types of people, many nations. We are all of that, right? So to describe ourselves, we're American origines. That handles everybody. Moors, Cherokee, whatever you want to call yourself now, except Black and African American. You are handled as an American originee. You can claim that as opposed to African American. Well, the United States, it's not for the United States to recognize. They don't never have to recognize it. It's for you to recognize. It's for you to put it in stone and make it right. And the only way you do that, wait, people be thinking I'm playing. Hold up. Like I said, oh, well, you gotta lead. You gotta do it first. I am not a United States citizen. I do not carry state ID. And this is accepted by all those so-called authorities and powers around here who think they are who they are. It's not just I have this. It's not just that I claim it. I live it. And they see that and they respect it. That's why I can stand in court and tell them, well, you know, my birth name, my name that's on the Social Security card and stuff like that. We're in court and the judge says to me, well, are you a United States citizen? No, I'm not. I'm not a United States citizen, but I'll admit to you that paperwork is. The judge said, I'll take that. I just separated myself, didn't I? From the paperwork.
Stop. Right there.
Say that, cuz?
Stop right there. You just, what we doing every day, separating the man from the business. What you just said is they running us off as a business. Even your kid coming in the mail comes in capital letters, all letters, because it's an investment for the soul to be ran slave by the body. Back to you.
And so we have to capture these documents of investment, which are the birth certificate, Social Security card. And listen, you'll never own them because they issued them. They're theirs. But they are a tool for you to utilize. And that's what I mean by capture. But you can never own it. They're theirs. All you can do is utilize it in a better way than you're utilizing it now.
Man, that sounds like a manager at a company. That sounds like a manager at a company. He looked like he owned it, but he don't. That was deep.
But look at what you say. You are a business. That birth certificate is your birth certificate is your company name. The Social Security card is the bank number for that business. That's how it works. But because we live under lies, we think the Social Security card, well, that's my Social Security number, so I could do this, that, or the other thing. No, it's a banking number because you're a business and you're supposed to be operating as a business. We're supposed to control everything but own nothing. The birth certificate own it. And that's even dangerous, the way my brain just thought of that.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm like, oh my God.
That's why, see, this is why I keep telling people, you think you know everything. I hear myself talking. And when I hear myself talking, I'm putting it with everything. And wait, if they own the birth certificate, and then I take and operate that birth certificate and put everything in the birth certificate, they own everything that I'm supposed to be doing.
We look like suckers. My people die for lack of wisdom.
Yes. And so I've been offered now 5 or 6 different ways to obtain my trust, to work with my trust. And everything at the bottom kept saying, don't touch it. Leave that where it is. You've already separated yourself. Thank the Creator that you are able to separate yourself from it. Because by separating my usage of a Social Security card, a birth certificate, who are you? You get my ID. You don't get a birth certificate, Social Security card from me.
In another way, in your own way, by actions today, you just said, Get out of Babylon. Run away from her. Those are scriptures both in Quran and in the Word. Back to you. I be hearing stuff as you live it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's how you leave Babylon. Back to you.
And so this thing about us being our own nation now. Oh, how come you won't just go do it for yourself? Because my protection is within the ability to have my own nation and operate my own nation. But then see, the protection is when I do utilize that birth certificate, so it was taken over by my nation. So my nation now owns everything. Not me, not them, but my nation. Oh, I thank the Creator. I was not a greedy fool. I love it, yo. I love
it. You just explained to me how a criminal, the same way you flipped it today, the same way how criminals still got bank accounts and stuff outside of shores, and they know that it's theirs, but because it's a business entity and not the man, the government entity can't touch it. But you took that entity, raised it up to the great divine, like we were living back in the day, and that's why they wanted to pay you. Because too much of that influence, what would we need them for? Back to you.
That's it. And see, my whole thing was, they keep telling us we got to come over here and get grants from them. No, we don't. All we got to do is build right here, and then we can go get a grant. We don't got to listen to them. Then, through all the things, like they try to tell us, here goes $3,000 to go to school. They wanted to give each person $3,000. We don't want your $3,000 to go to school. Me and brother over here are going to take our $3,000 together and build a business. You can't build a business off $6,000. Who are you talking to? And in fact, since it's $6,000, y'all gave me $5,000 too many to make a profit, to do something profitable. Then everything that we did, they started writing us more checks because we were achieving. The whole time, they thought we were going to squander the money and the ability to move ourselves forward. They couldn't believe it when we actually did everything, came back with receipts and everything, and showed every dime, nickel, penny was counted for right down to the bottom. Everything is excess. And then we went and made a profit. And when we made the profit, that's when we scared them. That's when they got nerve to know y'all ain't supposed to get out the ghetto like this. And none of us, we're not helping you. We're not moving. No, you're not. We don't need your help.
We're helping others, as a matter of fact.
When you got a job.
We're helping others along the way, as a matter of fact. What you talking about, Jack?
In 1999, I paid people $10 an hour to work for me. In 1999, how long did it take them to get you to $10 an hour? And I'm going to tell you all the truth right now, for what I see and what I know about economics. Y'all got the unions fighting for y'all. I get you $25 an hour. Easy. Working at McDonald's, you can get $25 an hour. But they don't want to, nobody wants to fight for you that hard. They got to keep you at a certain level.
It's already at Vermont.
$25 an hour?
He making $23 an hour, our family member, Joshua.
So you see, I'm not making it up. I didn't just say something. Notice that. You say, well, that's your opinion. That's what you think. Hold up. When I said I get you $25 an hour from McDonald's, I knew I was making a factual statement. And then Cousin just said, that's what they're already getting in Vermont. Now, check and see, Vermont has a population of how many compared to every place else?
Wait. Let's add that these changes didn't take place until our family stepped in the building, who got into the I call them conjurers, but Congress and all of that. And that's Miss Soria Lamont. She lived there about 20 years and always used to tell the family, I'm going to make a change. Let me get out of that white people state. She kept saying, nobody, you hear me, people? Nobody believed her. But then when they said, Saudi Alamat is head over state and the most hated state in the United States, besides Orange, Connecticut, is the whole state Vermont. Is the whole state Vermont. And she made them the 23rd state to go for, you know that word, but melanated beings. Now, I want y'all to understand when people's the root of the spirit of God, that he said, if you abase yourself, I'll raise you and make you upon nations. You see me and my cousin. People of a high race might look at us and be like, they ain't got nobody. We got plenty in offices, police, power ship. You hear me? Quietly, silently making changes. That's what a real hero do. We don't unmask themselves. Others do. Shout out Solia Lamont for holding on to what the Most High gave you when others, even close to you, wouldn't even see it. But they quiet as a mouse now, hugging on your neck. Back to you, cuz.
And so, you know, these are facts. I refuse to say what I think. I refuse to say what I think and feel. You'll never catch me out saying what, unless I'm dealing with strictly like my children, the woman that I'm with. After that, I'm not talking about what I think and feel. I don't have any room or time to talk about what I think or feel. I've never been in a position to talk about what I think or feel. I always was in a position from 15 years old. I was responsible for the existence of someone else. When they came into the office to see me, I was responsible for making sure you got your IDs and stuff correct. Social Security card. I was responsible for the letters that went out for you. We couldn't have sent out a letter and then it come back questioning who we was to try to get you. And every time you went out, you were successful from the letters that we wrote for you, no matter what it was. So I never had room in my life for just thinking and feeling. Everything had to be exact according to what that situation was and how that situation worked. Everything. People don't like it, or now today you have thoughts and feelings, or you woke up to something yesterday that I've been woke up to for 20 years. And you're trying to tell me about it like I'm telling you, I already went through this. Yeah, well, you need to study this or that. But wait a minute. I'm the one who brought up this subject. I said if I'm talking about it, I know about it. Now you're telling me what I need. What grounds are you? Because I don't know. Well, if you don't know, you need to study and then show me where I'm wrong. See, when you talk back to me, I'll know if you studied or not by the stuff that you're saying. And then by the time we get to where your point is, I would have seen my flaw already, or I'm ready now to hear your correction in what it is that I was saying and prepared to do and things like that. I'm ready, because as you're climbing the ladder, right? Bruce Lee said, once you stop at exercise, you don't stop until it's finished. Until they bury me in the ground, I'm climbing a ladder. And I'm not going to miss a rung. And if I'm about to miss a rung and you telling me that, then I'm going to listen. So I don't miss that rung. I don't want to slide back down and have to start back over. I'm climbing the ladder. So every day I wake up, I'm climbing a ladder. So what's said and what's not said is about me. I can't go by what I think or feel. I have to put my hands in place, my feet in place. I have to push my body up as I might get tired. Now I got to grab it. I don't have time for how I think and feel. Oh, I'm this wrong. Maybe I just want to relax a little bit and my hand slips off and now I'm 20 rungs. I got to start again. That's not the type of person I am. I'm not going to do it. So I'm not going to do it to you. So I'm going to say this again. I take the time to study the words before they come out of my mouth. And I say them to you. I take the time to make sure I know what I'm talking about before I say it to you. So all these people who are telling you about African American and what you're on, I'm telling you again, you can't do nothing as an African American. I mean, you can, but it's all going to get diminished. And now look at the track record of what has happened for blacks and African Americans and see it all get diminished, see it all get tore down. It's because they're not speaking from their nation. If another nation tries to tear down a nation, that's like war stuff. You could take it to all these different conventions in The Hague and the UN and get your rights. If you're a citizen within that nation, how many people, like they said the Chinese people at one time were treated bad? How many nations jumped up and went to fight for the Chinese people? And if the people in a country are being treated bad by the leaders of that country, how many people really get up and run over there and help? They don't. Because it's happening within that nation and those who sign. So you're part of the United States now. As a black African-American United States, who coming to rescue you? It's your job to rescue you. Oh, nobody gonna do nothing for us. They know what we go through. It's not nobody's job but yours. But you don't want to accept leaders from within your community. And you know, I'm so like I said, since childhood, anybody who knows me will agree. Yeah, he's always been the big mouth. He's always been the one who would stand up and say things, whether it was right or wrong. He gonna say it. Once it gets here, it's coming out here. Do you know how long it took it to get here? Well, then, how can it be wrong if you thought about it? Because those who were in authority didn't want to hear what I said or the way I said it. Where I ended up saying, I don't give a F about your badge, your authority. You're doing wrong. Don't care. So see, it's the wrong way for me to talk to them. I'm not being respectful. But I don't care about your badge or what authority you think you have. So when I say I'm the president, do you think I expect you to care if I'm wrong? You should be ready to put my head on the block when I'm wrong. See the difference? And something I'm not scared of? All leaders standing up, leading the people in the wrong, should be ready to have their tongue cut out of their mouth for lying, their hands cut off for stealing, and their heads chopped off for leading people down the wrong road. All leaders. Other than that, you're not a leader as a servant to the people. You're a leader out of greed, jealousy, envy, and a whole bunch of other stuff. A servant of the people. Know that whatever I do, I'm going to benefit, but the people are going to benefit also. And the people might benefit more than me. And I don't care. They're free. And with them being free, we have better actions where we don't even need this many police no more. The people are policing themselves. They're judging each other. They're making decisions on what makes their community better. And they have the freedom to do it. I don't have a bunch of people going, no, that's our job. No, that's our job. We're going to, no, you don't need to do that. And then just knock the people. No, we don't have that type of system. Everybody realizes that their accountability, their duty, and their responsibility is wanted, needed, and look forward to join in, all hands on deck, and get the work done to save our children. Because at the end of the day, that's all. If we were saving our children, that young lady in the late 90s, she'd have never been in that situation where she got snatched up outside her mama house, her grandmother's house, drugged, put on a plane, flown to a mansion, abused in the mansion, taken around different places, seeing other children locked up in cages and stuff and doing nasty, doing the nasties with each other. They were being made to by adults. And you think children with a young kid who has access to a gun who done threatened to shoot him 3 or 4 times because your child was told that they don't squill, your child was not going to tell that part of the story. But your child has been threatened with a gun, and your child gets smacked on in school. And they're scared to say something because it's snitching now, and everybody's going to go against them. It ain't snitching to me. You got something to tell it. Wasn't there a commercial? You see something, say, you got to tell. before something happens to you. You better tell before something happens to somebody else. If we really, when it comes to women and safety of our children, if you really want to stop the abuse to them, someone has to tell on what they see, what they know, what they think they know. Somebody has to be brave enough to ring the alarm. Other than that, women and children keep getting hurt. And as long as women and children are getting hurt, grown men end up hurt, right? Because grown men start off as children, don't they? So now you got a grown man growing up with all of this. He's hiding stuff inside him, dirt inside him. He's not able to relate to his woman because of the dirt that happened to him as a child. She's not able to relate to him because of the dirt that happened to her. You got two people faking the funk every day inside of a house talking about they married, they're going to exist together and raise children together. You can't. You've been destroyed. And now in order to fix it, you must admit to what the problem is and then begin to fix it from there.
Good.
My Lord.
We are going to have to cut it there, and we're going to come back and pick up wherever else you're going to lead us with.
When you're ready, just do like you do. Holler at me. You know I'll jump on here. And so, whatever I'm going to go with, the only thing that I really want, governance of self. That means that I need people to come up here and say, listen, I have this type of skill, that type of skill, and this is where I'm willing to apply it to the forward movement of us. And then, like, let's say you're into the medical field, right? You're into health. You're doing all this stuff with health. Then if you're doing stuff in health, you qualify to help us build a health department for ourselves. And, well, I'm already doing it. Listen, you're taking a skill and using it for the benefit of all of us. Ain't nobody taking nothing from you. Whatever you still want to have a little private thing, go have your private thing. But something must be done for all of us along different lines. Well, I want to work in the school. I already put a curriculum. You're trying to take my curriculum. I'm trying to activate your curriculum. And then, yes, in reading your curriculum, I don't care what you put in it, but I know this. The liberal arts, that was a part of the alchemy setting back in the day when we talk about maternal and who we are. They use liberal art. We should be utilizing liberal arts today. So if your curriculum doesn't have some form of liberal arts in it, then that's a failed curriculum, and we're not going to run with it like that. We have to add liberal arts to it. What, you can't build? You don't know how to build? I'm not trying to take over anything anybody doing. I'm trying to get us all to work it together. How many people does it take to make a movie? How many people work on an artist's record to make it big? And how many musicians are actually, so you sitting in a corner, I need to do this myself, and you're going against the grain to build something. I need to get myself together. People get themselves together by being with people who are getting themselves together and everybody working and talking through it. AA. You want to quit alcohol? AA is a group of people coming together to fix their individual problems of alcoholism, to let each other know, no matter what story you tell, somebody in here relates to that story. Somebody overcame your story, and now you just listen to how they overcame it, and maybe you can apply some of that to yourself. But we're scared of this. Hit me up when you're ready, cuz you know I'm ready. I'm talking about governance, y'all, and I'm looking for people to sign on with a government. And believe it or not, we all have the ability. Peace and love.
Do what I. Thank you, and Braka and Islamism. And thank you for pulling that card out, showing these cats that we independent.
Yes, sir, cuz we independent. Yes, sir, cuz we and not the independent party. We are an independent government of our own, an independent nation of our own, standing on the Americas. We are.
Okay, I think he done, y'all. Braka.
It's done, God, man.
All right, we'll do. Islamism. Thank y'all.
Is a rock up.